From day one in boot camp to your first duty station, the Marine Corps and Air Force pipelines are two completely different experiences, and today we're going to be breaking down how exactly they are. Today we're going to walk you through boot camp, follow-on training, and what life looks like before you even hit your first unit. All right, so for the Marine Corps side of the house, we got boot camp, MCT, your MOS school, and then Fleet Marine Corps.
And for the Air Force, you have BMT, tech school, and then you're off to your first duty station.
The Marine Corps focuses on building a Marine first, a warfighter first, and then they'll focus on the technical aspect of your MOS.
As in the Air Force, we just really focus on our job training.
For Marine Corps boot camp, you got 13 weeks of misery with your drill instructors.
Sit up straight and look at me right.
The only branch that are called drill instructors. Everybody else is either drill sergeant or, for the Air Force,
MTIs.
MTIs.
Military training instructors.
The whole purpose of boot camp is to break you down and build you up into a United States Marine, so you can earn that title. So for MCT, since you earned the title, now you've got to learn the title. So that's what it is to be a rifleman. And they put you out there in the field, you're going on ranges, shooting machine guns. They used to throw grenades. Hopefully they bring them back for you. And just overall getting more familiarized with different weapon systems than you did when you were in boot camp. If you are position other than grunt, pogue, right, you will go to MCT. If you are an infantryman, 03 field, then you will go to ITB, which is it's a little bit longer and they focus more on infantry tactics. MCT goes over the basic needs of a rifleman. ITB goes more in depth for the infantry field. So now moving on to MOS school. Once you get to MOS school, this is where they'll start giving you freedom back in little doses. You'll have your weekends all to yourself to hang out with your buddies. You start to feel a little bit more entitled like a Marine. You're being treated differently. Of course, there are timelines where you have to be back, but more often than not, they're very lenient with you having your liberty period. Monday through Friday, it will be just business. If you are in a class, then you will be learning your job. Sometimes Marines won't be able to immediately pick up a class. So they'll be in a thing called a holding platoon, where essentially they're just doing day-to-day tasks, which would, if it involves base cleanups, volunteer work, extracurricular activities that they'll be doing until they get picked up into their class for their MOS. That's what those Marines in holding platoons will be doing. And this can range from as little as 2 weeks to as long as a year or a year and a half. Sometimes different things happen to Marines. Sometimes they have to go on emergency leave during their class and, well, they're not going to be able to graduate, so now they get set back a little bit longer. And then once you graduate MOS school, this is when you will receive your orders to go to the Fleet Marine Corps and join the ranks of many others who have come before you.
The Air Force is a little different. Very different, actually. Our boot camp is only 7.5 weeks long. I did hear that they're trying to change it to 9 weeks long and more physically demanding. However, in my experience, it was only 7.5 weeks long, a little physical demanding, but a lot of classroom time. And that's just boot camp. Once you graduate boot camp, you go off to your tech school, and then tech school, you kind of have a lot more freedom, depending on the base that you're at. If you're on a non-Air Force base, you have to follow the rules of, let's say, the Army base or the Marine Corps base. So that kind of depends on where your tech school is. Once you get to tech school, same thing. You're Monday through Friday, 7:30, 4:30. You're hustling and you're just learning your job as quick as possible. On the weekends, it's all you. You get to kind of relax, go out. In certain tech schools, you can even start drinking again, and you really start to feel like a normal person again. Not so much getting yelled at and more treated like an airman. At the end of the day, both branches produces professionals. It's just a different pipeline depending on the branch that you pick.
If you're deciding which branch to join, understanding the pipeline first is your first small taste of what military life will be like.